the world's leader in motorsports coverage, welcomes you live to Watkins, Glen, New York, and the NASCAR Winston Cup Bud at the Glen. Going into this race, Jeff Gordon has a 79-point edge on the pole, his third start of the 1995-97 season, and his first career pole goes to Todd Bodine. Dale Jarrett, third in point, starts alongside. In row number 2 for today's race, the 1996 pole sitter Dale Earnhardt and Bill Elliott with his best starting spot of 97. In 5th position, Wally Dallenbach led 14 laps last Saturday at Indianapolis, and Sterling Marlin, whose best finish was 6th here in 93. 7th starting position goes to Geoff Bodine, the defending race champion, alongside his Joe Nemechek, second fast in the happy hour last evening. Mark Martin starts in 9th position. He's won 3 in a row, 93, 94, and 95. And Robbie Gordon, who was the fastest in happy hour yesterday. Jeff Gordon starts 11th. He's never won on a road course. Steve Park will make his Winston Cup debut. Rusty Wallace has the inside position in row number 7. He has 6 road course wins, more than any other active driver. And Bobby Labonte, who had his best finish of 97 last week at Indy, a second.
On the inside of row 8, Kenny Schrader from St. Louis, and a great road racer, Terry Labonte, on the outside. The 9th row on the inside, Michael Waltrip and Ward Burton on the outside. Row 10, Dorsey Schrader filling in for Dick Trickle today in the 90 car, and Brett Bodine with a new owner. Back in row 11, Jimmy Spencer and Ernie Irvin. Back in row 12, Kenny Wallace and Bobby Hamilton. In row 13, Johnny Benson and rookie Mike Skinner. In row 14, Chad Little and Jeremy Mayfield.
In row 15, we have Ted Musgrave and John Andretti. Row 16, we see Ricky Rudd, last week's winner, along with Darrell Waltrip. Row 17, Steve Grissom and Lance Hooper in the car number 1. Kyle Petty and Jeff Burton make up row 18. Derek Cope and David Green in row 19. Provisional starters here today are Ricky Craven and Rick Mast in row 20, and Hut Strickland and Jeff Green in row 21.
3 drivers failed to qualify for this event and didn't have provisionals. Bobby Hillen, Morgan Shepherd, and Dave Martin. 28 others, well, they don't have even that kind of record.
The other 4 cars in the top 5 in the point standings in those 28 races, those 4 drivers do not have a top 5 finish. Green flag is out.
Everybody making the move down into turn number 1. A hard right-hander.
Michael Waltrip dives on the inside of Schrader. They are absolutely 3 abreast to that corner.
That's a turn. It's hard to make it sometimes when you just single file.
Jimmy Spencer also going to the inside, making it 3 wide. They come up now through the S's. From the Pennzoil copter cam, you can see the field snaking through the S's, and now they hit the backstretch. The next obstacle, the interlude.
Dale Jarrett already from his 3rd starting spot has the lead.
Started on the outside pole and beat Todd Bodine down into turn 1.
Attaboy, Ned. He started 2nd, not 3rd.
Little dust being kicked up, but it looks like that everybody is going to survive this first lap. At least they've gone through the interlude. We understand that Ricky Rudd may be having a problem. Bill, what's the story?
Problem with the shifter in the tied Ford, so it looks like Rudd may be making an early stop. Jim Long talking to him on the radio, but a problem with the shifter. This team burned up a transmission last night in happy hour. They have early problems here in Bud at the Glen.
And we can see him, it's in neutral. He cannot get into any gear. You see the shifter there, he's back and forth, but it's not going anyplace. He'd have to get to the pits. And he's trying to set the mirror as well.
So the thrill of victory at Indianapolis last week is now the agony of defeat.
16 or so seconds to go around here, so you can make a pit stop like that, and still you see the caution out as Little pulls his car off the racing service, but you can get back out and stay in the lead lap as Brett Bodine will do. It'll be a full track caution.
Apparently an ignition problem is hampering Chad Little. So there is the caution flag that comes out here at the conclusion of lap number 10. And look at this, they're under caution.
Well, they're racing back to the line. Robbie Gorman is trying to steal that spot from Todd Bodine, and you know what? He's only liked about 12 inches.
Past the start-finish line, they were 3 deep as they headed on down into turn 1. So.
Oh, there goes Gordon trying to get by Earnhardt. Whoa, that was close down to the S's as Earnhardt was trying to get by Bill Elliott. Robbie Gordon trying to get by.
Didn't start on the front row this week, but has come on strong here in the early going. Oh, and Ward Burton is off course.
That's at the inner loop, I believe, Bob, or just outside of it.
And it doesn't look like the car is transmission changed.
Got to get out there and get points because Rudd is in the top 10. He's 8th in the point standings going in. And here are Gordon and Earnhardt side by side again at turn 1. And Earnhardt again loose coming off.
Wow. And Geoff Bodine, I don't know if he was trying to dodge or he got hit from the back or what.
I think he was trying to dodge what he thought was going to happen there.
When they were going to stop, he wouldn't tell me. Right now, Bobby Labonte also on pit road. Now, a big wreck in turn 1. Back up to you guys.
Well, we have Lance Hooper and Jeff Burton involved in the incident. I was watching that as they went down in the corner, and there just simply wasn't enough room.
And Burton is stuck.
Yep.
He's in the gravel pit, and look, the wheels are spinning. He can't get out. They've got to get someone in there to pull him out, and it's a pretty good damage. Now, the question, Mark Martin was in the middle of that wreck down there. I don't know if Mark hit anything or not.
Well, the field comes down and gets the caution flag, so we're in our 3rd overall caution, and here's what happened.
There we see Lance Hooper trying to get on the inside of the 99 car, goes into the 99, does not know he's there. Actually, he went through the grass. He realized he was in over his head, and Mark Martin didn't hit a thing as he goes through the wreck.
Dorsey Schrader slowed down, got down on the grass, and came through in the 90 car.
Dorsey got a face full of dirt, too, as those cars in front of him kicked up some dust.
There's see Mark Martin driving through.
And folks, this dirt and gravel and sand that Jeff Burton went over into is something new here at Watkins Glen International. We'll watch it from Mark Martin's in-car. Mark says, uh-oh, don't do that, Lance. You're going to be in trouble.
He said, man, am I lucky. 60 laps to go.
So 1/3 of the race has been completed. There's
Jack Spears.
The leader before we had the caution has spun in the inner loop.
He got hit by somebody. It was either Jeff Gordon or Ernie Irvin, I believe, as it came, or not hard, but it looked like they tapped him just a little bit. I might be wrong.
Craven and Wally Dallenbach are fighting for position. Here's what happened.
He just locks up the right front tire and gets the car out of shape as he tries to go on the inside of Bobby Labonte.
Well, see if we can see from this angle if either Jeff Gordon or Ernie Irvin did hit him. There he comes on the inside of Bobby Labonte's in the green car. And he gets up on those ripple strips, loses control, around it goes. Rusty comes by on the inside. Then Dale Jarrett comes by on the inside. Gordon goes by. Maybe he didn't hit him. I thought he did, but he didn't. No problem there.
Down to Jerry.
Mark Martin.
Whoa!
And a spin right across the racetrack. And he did not get to the gravel, so if he can keep it running, he should not get stuck. And it is running. I saw it start.
Yeah, I think it died, and then he had to use the starter to get it cranked again. Lost a lot of positions there, Benny, but
Jeff Gordon gets the lead just as you rejoin us. He took it away from Jeff Bodine in the spot that he has made so many passes today in turn 10.
boy, he has found him a sweet spot on that racetrack that Chevrolet works right on, and he puts her right to the
races. And here is how it all came together.
Right on the back bumper of Jeff Bodine, gets him a little bit loose, and there he makes the move. Jumps down on the inside. Nothing Jeff Bodine can do about it, but stay out there and watch that Chevrolet go by.
Well, just as I complimented Steve Park on his debut, he ran into a bit of a problem up in the inner loop, and he has buried that car in the sand trap.
Break off those tires, and let's watch it as he comes in there.
And there we see, boom. It's like the car just wouldn't turn at all. Let's try it again. We see him coming in the corner. He turns in the corner okay, but all of a sudden the car just...
Well, they got down on that ripple strip way down on the inside of them and caused the car to get off the ground, upset, and over into that new sand, dirt, and gravel, and she got stuck.
The leader is that guy in the very right corner of your screen, Jeff Gordon. That's Geoff Bodine and Rusty Wallace, the next two.
Dorsey Schrader is off course. If he's buried that car, it looks like he has. We may have another caution.
Down in turn 1.
And he told the crew he was in the gravel trap.
Yeah, we see the cars rolling, but not going in.
We're stuck in a gravel trap.
Boy, look how deep that right front is down there on that. At least to let him catch up to the field. Ernie is back in 31st position.
Here's a replay of Dorsey.
There you see the black car. Like he said, he goes in the corner and said, the guys that just won't turn. He said, it's okay for a few laps. And then he gets so tight, I just cannot get to turn. He gets down the corner and it will not turn. He finally has to slam on the brakes, and he spins himself out.
Look how deep he goes into that sand.
2 to go, and here we go, Martin.
Passes his teammate, Ted Musgrave.
That's for 5th spot, and that's 5 more points. Oh, and Joe Nemechek is in the, come on, Joe.
Come on, Joe.
Gas, baby.
Attaboy. Don't hit the wall and don't get stuck in the sand. He didn't do either one. He's back on track, pulling ahead of Johnny Benson, so he falls back to 11th position. Here's a look once again at what happened.
Oh, front row Joe got in there too deep, didn't he, Ned?
Got in there a little bit too hard and just had to steer it left. Had no choice, or he was going to spin out, and he probably would have gotten stuck. But as a result of driving it on through there, keeps going.
White flag is out for Jeff Gordon. One more lap to go. Chevy has recorded 7 wins so far.
1997, and guess what?
He's won all of them.
He's won all of them, that's correct.
And he may have another win here today. He's got a couple of Fords chasing him. Jeff Bodine and Rusty Wallace.
But the biggest advantage he's got about a 1.5 seconds advantage on those guys.
If he doesn't make a mistake or anything happen to that car, he has it.
Hooper goes off, and he too keeps it out of the sand and drives back onto the course. Where was he running, Ned? About
well, he was 23rd, yeah. So he was one of those cars on the lead lap.
Here is Gordon headed down for turn with the inner loop, I get. No, turn 10.
Turn 10. The left-hander that he loves so much.
Made a couple of passes there today and drives by it for the final time. Now he heads for turn number 11, the final turn on the course. Jeff Gordon has won the Bud at the Glen. His 8th win of the 1997 season, his 27th career victory, and now it's complete. Kyle Petty has gotten off course in the inner loop.
See, the 81 car is sitting up there. Kenny Wallace, who had a great run doing, he's sitting up, was running 13th. Sitting in the inner loop, dead in the water.
Jerry has now won 8 in 1997, all 8 coming from Jeff Gordon.
Let's see if we can see what happened up in the inner loop. There we see, there's Kyle Petty. He and the 43 car almost make contact. I guess he did make contact. 43 car spun.
Yep.
And all the cars trying to stop.
Another angle.
And Kenny Wallace he's stopping anyway. As we see the cars go in the corner, the 81 car could not complete that last lap.
Yeah,
Steve Park, he's on the inside. Oh, and he hits the 44 car, does Park. Obviously, you saw that, folks. And he and Michael Waltrip hit then.
But the 81 car was totally unrelatable. Jeff Gordon has won that Winston bonus 4 times in 1996.